Stooge was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, a squeezing, clutching, covetous frontman for exploitation of the earth and slavery of its people. For what did Stooge care about the planet, or the loss of its forests and ocean life, or the plight of its people, the glory of existence replaced with graft, progress, growth, profit by the few from the many? On Climate Change Eve, Scrooge sat busy in his bank, the door of his office open that he might keep an eye upon his slave, Rob and Taxit. "A merry climate change, Uncle. God save you." It was the voice of Stooge's backer, Big Oil. "Bah," said Stooge. "Humbug." "Climate change a humbug, Uncle?" said Big Oil. "You don't mean that, I'm sure." "I do," said Scrooge. "Merry climate change. What use or profit is there to be had by such a thing? What's climate change to you but a reason to stop making shit we don't need, for morons to buy with money they don't have, borrowed from our masters? I say, if I could work my will," said Scrooge indignantly, "every idiot who goes about with merry climate change on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. He should." "Uncle, there are many things about climate change that could be turned to a profit, if we use our imagination. When it comes around, could be a nice little earner. I believe that it will do so soon, and I say God bless it." And with that, Big Oil left. Rob and Taxit, in letting Scrooge's nephew out, had let 2 other people in. "Stooge and Gore, I believe," said one of the gentlemen. "Mr. Gore has been dead these 7 years," Scrooge replied. "He died 7 years ago this very night." "Well, no doubt he is well represented by his successor," the man continued. "Sir, at this restless season of the year, it is desirable that we make some provision for peasants to suffer more greatly. Many are not scared, oppressed, and deceived enough." "Are there no wars?" asked Scrooge. "Plenty," said the gentleman. And the corporate media?" demanded Scrooge. "Are they still in operation?" "They are still," the man replied. "And the scam of freedom and democracy is in full vigour?" "Both very busy, sir." "Oh, I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course," said Scrooge. "I'm very glad to hear it. I support the establishments mentioned, though they cost enough." "Sir, many don't succumb, and many would rather die." "If they would rather die," said Scrooge, "they had better do it, and decrease the surplus population." Seeing clearly it would be useless to pursue their point, the gentleman withdrew. At length, the hour of shutting up the counting-house arrived. Rob and Taxit was dismissed, and Stooge headed home. However, as he settled for the evening, there came a clanking noise, as if one were dragging a heavy weight. It came on through the heavy door. Before his eyes, Stooge cried, "I know you! You're Al Gore's ghost. What do you want with me?" "Much," cried Gore. "It is required of every stooge," the ghost returned, "to wear the chains forged by our masters. Made lie by lie, death by death, dollar by dollar." "Hear me," cried the ghost. "My time is nearly gone. I'm here this night to warn you that you have yet a chance and a hope of making vast profits from climate change. You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Expect the first tomorrow, the second on the next night, the third upon the last stroke of 12. And look to investigate me no more, and remember what has passed between us." So it came to pass. At the appointed hour the first spirit appeared. It was a strange figure. Are you the spirit, sir, whose coming was foretold to me?" asked Scrooge. "Yes, I am the ghost of climate change past. Rise and walk with me. These are but shadows of the things that have been," said the ghost. As if by magic, Stooge and the spirit journeyed through time, seeing the rise and fall of deserts and oceans, the birth and death of forests, the freezing and melting of ice caps and glaciers, and all the while humanity lived and died as nature permitted, flourishing here and there, or not, in balance with the elements. And during the whole of this time, no stooge or other banker was seen to profit from the change, nor were humans imprisoned in its unviable folds, nor charged for the passing of natural events. "My time grows short," observed the spirit. "These are but shadows of potential profits lost, business not done, money not made." "Spirit," said Scrooge. "Spirit," said Scrooge, "why do you delight to torture me? Leave me, take me back, haunt me no longer." Stooge was exhausted and overcome by an irresistible drowsiness. He had barely time to reel to bed before he sank into a heavy sleep. Awaking in the middle of a tough snore, sitting up in bed to get his thoughts together, he saw a ghostly light in the adjoining room, and softly he shuffled in.
"Come in!" exclaimed the ghost. "Come in and know me better, man. I am the ghost of climate change present," said the spirit.
"Oh, spirit," said Scrooge submissively, "conduct me where you will."
"Touch my robe."
Scrooge did as he was told and held it fast, for soon they hovered over the city of Copenhagen and descended into the rooms of the Climate Change Conference as silent witnesses. "Yes, you see," said Astor Rockchild the 11th, speaking to the suited, by making a common enemy of nature, we can tax the peasants even more. And what's better, we can still have the shops, factories, power stations, cars, plastic of all shapes and sizes, and we may continue with our enterprise. Billions of humans engaged in production and consumption of shit they don't need to make the very rich even richer." That's me. "Cutting down forests, emptying oceans of life, smokestacks poisoning the air, chemicals growing Frankenstein foods, feeding a growing mass of morons corralled into enterprise zones, nations, and economic slavery." To Stooge, it seemed like heaven on earth. A dollar made at every turn, profit, growth, progress, and taxes, more taxes than Stooge had ever dreamed of. On all of life's activities, he could barely contain himself.
"There are some upon this earth of yours," said the spirit, "who claim that humans don't cause climate change, and who will not support deeds of profit, tax, ill will, hatred, war, cap, and trade in its name. These voices must be silenced." They turned and were transported to the peasant dwelling of Robin Taxit. Here, on Climate Change Eve, the heating was not turned down. As factories blazed, Taxit's wages were not diminished by carbon tax. They failed to recycle the packaging of their supermarket produce, even as their government laid plans to force them to do so. "A merry climate change to us all, my dears," said Taxit. "Go tax us," which all the family re-echoed. "Go tax every one of us." "Go tax every one of us," said Slightly Dim, the last of all. Again the ghost sped on. "Forgive me if I'm not justified in what I ask," said Scrooge, looking intently at the spirit's robe, "but I see something strange not belonging to yourself protruding from your skirts. Is it a foot or a claw?" They were a boy and girl, ragged, scowling, wolfish. "Spirit, are they yours?" Scrooge asked. "They are man's," said the spirit. "This boy is defiance. This girl is knowledge. Beware of them both, and all of their degree, but most of all beware this boy, for on his brow I see that written which is doom." "Oh, spirit, have we no lie or deception to blind them with?" cried Scrooge. "Are there no wars?" said the spirit. "Is there no freedom and democracy sham?"
The bell struck 12. Scrooge looked about him for the ghost and saw it not. As the last stroke ceased to vibrate, he remembered the prediction of Al Gore, and lifting up his eyes beheld a solemn phantom, draped and hooded, coming like a mist along the ground towards him.
In part 1 of Climate Change Carol, Stooge doesn't believe climate change can help him fuck the world for a buck. He's sure it means the end of consumerism and his master's life of slavery, exploitation, and debt. The ghost of Al Gore haunts him with a message of greed and deception. Then, Stooge is visited by spirits of climate change past, present, and future. Spirit 1 says climate change in the past didn't get taxed. Boo-hoo! What a waste! Stooge cries. Spirit number 2 says, let's tell an enormous lie about how we can all continue shopping and fuck the planet if we swallow these stupid pills and drop our pants for the banks. Ooh, baby, saving the economy one more time! Spirit 3 shows Stooge a bleak future where shopping is dead, people look after themselves, and governments are paid the minimum wage. Stooge wakes up on Climate Change Day and swears to change your ways. From that day forward, he makes it his business to make you keep climate change close to your heart. You will be blamed for it, you will celebrate it, and you will pay for it while shopping continues forever. Have a merry climate change.